Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Brothers Perspective. I am your host, Kenny Steele, and today we are reviewing a little film called, pretty much, starring Marseille Martin, Regina Hall, let's see who else is in there, Issa Rae, Tom Bell, and Justin Hartley, and is directed by Tina Gordon, I believe. And this little film, okay, I'm gonna try not to keep it puns, but this sweet little film is kind of, it's a nice little story. It's basically Big in reverse. Regina Hall stars as a powerful web tech exec, and she's sitting up there and she's mean to everybody. She's giving the wagging the finger. She's throwing donuts. She's yelling at people. She's your nightmare boss come to reality per se. And, she's pushing around everybody, and some young girl, wishes she was little. I meant to say this is not a spoiler because it's literally in the preview. But, of course, she wishes that Regina Hall's character was little, like she was. Therefore, she wouldn't be able to bully anybody else. And in turn, that's what happens. She reverts to her 13-year-old self, back to where, she had her adolescence, and, everything was haywire, and she was not big and powerful as she was before. So, what I thought about this film, I thought it was, to a degree, it was adorable, really. Miss Martin, as she's known for her role on Blackish, I think is an incredible and talented actress. A young woman that's actually wise beyond her years, and also shout out to her for being the youngest executive in Hollywood. Yes, her production company, along with the help of Kenya Barris, who writes Blackish, and Will Power Packer, made this film possible. But to get back to the film, this young lady delivered, a familiar performance, I'm gonna say. If you're a fan of her work on Blackish, then you'll know that, these personality traits that she has is kind of similar to her character Diane on Blackish, which isn't a bad thing because with her actually being the main focus of the show and her actually being a very charismatic actress, it was familiar, and I did enjoy seeing her and Issa Rae's chemistry. It was, it was a different dynamic. Actually, normally you have to see this, see Miss Martin actually play a character that has to deal with parents and adolescence, but this time it's in reverse, and she's acting like an adult, acting like someone who's actually been there before, and it was quite humorous. And Issa Rae, who plays her assistant, April, is helping her trying to find a way to get back to her normal self. And of course, Issa Rae brings the same type of energy and enthusiasm that she brings to Insecure. So to see that chemistry and that dynamic on screen was actually unique. I'm a fan of both shows. I'm also a fan of both actresses. So to see them kind of, ham it up and joke and, laugh on screen was, was quite pleasant. It was something I never thought I'd get to see, but I'm actually glad, we were, I'm actually glad we were available to get it. Also in this film, it's quite touching. Miss Martin's character, I believe, is named Jordan Hall. I told you we're getting names right. She plays Jordan Hall, and Jordan in her teen years, of course, was actually bullied, as we all go through, in our young years of actually having to deal with bullies and, deal with people in society. And because of that, her attitude abruptly changes, and she is determined that when she is older and when she is bigger, she'll make sure that she's the boss of everyone. But when she achieves that goal, she actually, does it out of spite and vengeance. And it makes her, a very unlikable character. But as the film goes on, and of course she reverts back to her younger 13-year-old self, it's actually quite humorous to see, a child believe that they're an adult and try to get away with the same antics that she did before. And it makes for incredible hijinks. I kind of thought it was, it was nice and funny. But what really surprised me is was really just the chemistry that she had with all the actors on screen. The chemistry she had with Issa Rae, Justin Hartley, I believe. Even with, I want to say the guy's name is James Luke. Don't quote me on it. The guy that played, Jordan's fictional boyfriend was actually, quite humorous. And the way, they kind of ended up in some situations was funny. And this film was actually, well directed. Honestly, to kind of get to some stuff, there's some negatives, I guess I should say. I don't want to really down this film, but some scenes were a bit choppy. Some things didn't really flow as well as I thought it should. But the story with this young girl having to go to school and actually have to, figure, actually have love for herself, get, having actually, finding her own inner power and to celebrate herself and actually, be able to let loose and relax, was quite a journey. You know what I'm saying? But this sometimes, her kind of getting in between school and sometimes her getting in between school and work and actually trying to manage and them trying to actually explain this narrative was a bit choppy at times. So, sometimes the story really didn't flow as well. I know, I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting mixed up in it. But it didn't really flow as well as I liked it would, but it wasn't a bad film. It's a nice B-list movie that you can sit at home. It's well for all ages. If it comes on cable, definitely check it out. But overall, I really enjoyed this film. I definitely will want to give it a second viewing. Maybe especially just kind of, give a second thought to some of those hijinks. But overall, I thought this was a really good film. I thought it was, could have been better directed, but it was still pretty great. And of course, the acting in it is superb. So, and I thought everybody in this film actually had great chemistry. It is really hilarious. So, check it out when you get the chance. If I had to give this film something, I would give it a 3 out of 5. It's a nice little comfortable movie. It's not exactly a popcorn flick. I didn't consider it to be a blockbuster, but it is, about female empowerment and having love in oneself. And I think the message overall is pretty well. They established that pretty well. And, it went over quite nicely. Only thing I would probably change for this film is for, it to flow a little better. But other than that, it's a great story. So definitely check it out. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. If you want any more information, you can also follow me on social media, at Twitter at KenDogDMFT and Instagram KenDogDMFT. I said it twice, so it sounds nice, and so you follow, like, share, and subscribe. Cheer. But now that I'm back to my regular self, if you want more content like this, continue on, and later on, we'll see you soon. Peace.